Have some spare food or coin? Anything else?
Oh, hello there.
Hello there, strange-looking citizen. You lost, or just looking for someone? A reputation? Me? For what? Standing around looking tough? Oi, wait a moment. You think I stole those books? Beautiful Liliana is sacred to me, all right? I'd never touch Vrel's stash, I swear. I was saving up for the new volume. Now it's gone? How the hell am I supposed to know what happens to Liliana next? No! I dunno. But there's this red priest hanging around who loves scaring the crap out of soldiers. Always preaching doom and sin, you know? And you know what's worse? That damn priest saying Liliana's, inspiring moments are why I'll be cursed. He told me I'd grow hair on the inside of my palms. What kind of nutter says that to a bloke? Is that even a thing? Damn brother Ismat got me paranoid. Oh, he's probably at the Red Church headquarters. That's where they're always praying and doing whatever it is that Red Priests do. Just be careful. The man's got a way of making you feel like you're already cursed. Creepy bastard. See you later. Don't let the weirdness bite, eh?
You doing okay?
Spare a coin for the hungry.
We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood. We strive for purity. Through purity. Yes? What reason do you have to interrupt my prayer? What could be more important than this? I know which sinner you speak of. I also know he intended to read those books, tainted with lechery. I could not allow that. Because I know all too well what they do to minds prone to living in impurity. As I know what that man intended to do, with his sweaty hands panting over the next chapter. He intended to stain his soul with sin. People who are lost for their entire lives don't even realize they're on a path to nowhere, that each new crossroads only leads them more astray. I only want to protect them from this. I want to ensure that their life's path would have fewer moments of doubt over whether to succumb to temptation or resist it. Of course, I am a red priest, after all. I know much about the struggles of the spirit, about what shatters a person's dignity, about the acts that cloud the mind with a fog. My conscience is untroubled thanks to my penance. Leave me. I wish to pray. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity. Why do you disturb me again? And I don't appreciate it when someone interrupts my prayer. Leave. We are the Why do you disturb me? The validity of any Red Church procedures is not for you. We are the Why do you disturb me again? Very bold words. The pain will go, but the grace of K that I will receive for my martyrdom will heal me. Could you say the same? I thought so. Allow me to return to my prayers. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity. Through purity. Why do you disturb? And I don't appreciate it when someone interrupts my prayer. Leave. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity. Through purity we serve. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity. Through purity we serve the people. Through service and duty we ascend to holiness. It is not the act alone that is weighed. We are the sanctified. Why do you disturb me again? And I don't appreciate it when someone interrupts my prayer. Leave. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive. Why do you disturb me again? And I don't appreciate it when someone interrupts my prayer. Leave. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity.
Oi! Stop where you are! Well, well, well. Usually you hope the... So... It's all right.
We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for... Yes? What reason do you have to interrupt my prayer? What could be more important than this? The body is a vessel of the Prophet's will, and its purpose is not to squander, but to glorify, says a sermon written by Flamen the Chaste. Through the suffering of the body, I free myself from the snares of evil. Each strike of the whip creates a wound, a holy space to be filled with the K's grace. I know which sinner you speak of. I also know he intended to read those books, tainted with lechery. I could not allow that, because I know all too well what they do to minds prone to living in impurity, as I know what that man intended to do with his sweaty hands panting over the next chapter. He intended to stain his soul with sin. People who are lost for their entire lives don't even realize they're on a path to nowhere, that each new crossroads only leads them more astray. I only want to protect them from this. I want to ensure that their life's path would have fewer moments of doubt over whether to succumb to temptation or resist it. I have no intention of taking responsibility for what lurks in the shadow of their depraved imaginations. The sin comes from within them, not from me. You will not provoke me. Of course, I am a red priest, after all. I know much about the struggles of the spirit, about what shatters a person's dignity, about the acts that cloud the mind with a fog. I am not sure what you were trying to accomplish. It wasn't practically thoughtful, clever, or frightening. Please, just go. I'd like to get back to my prayers. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity. We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity. Why do you disturb me again? The validity of any Red Church procedures is not for you to judge. Let me pray. We are the sanctified martyrs. Why do you Very bold words. The pain will go, but the grace of K that I will receive for my martyrdom will heal me. Could you say the same? I thought so. Allow me. We are the... Why do you Yes, I stole those books that are thick with words yet imparting no virtue, filled with vulgar, scandalous illustrations. Yes, I stole those books that are thick with words yet imparting no virtue, filled with vulgar, scandalous illustrations. What did I plan? To burn them, of course. That is what Miss Liliana deserves. That is the fate that befalls a rakish infidel. Yes, you heard correctly. Do you think I don't know what's in those books? I won't deny it. I took a peek inside. I needed to understand the sheer scale of depravity we are dealing with. I acknowledge that sin is a natural part of the soul, yet equally natural should be penance, to free oneself from that sin. Chasteness does not come easily, but that is why it is a virtue, granting oneself relief through such primitive and vulgar acts, engaging with something as vile as these books. Have you read A Sermon on the Paths of Discipline by Brother Flamen? He makes a proper statement about those types of deviations. Hands that stray toward idle pleasures build no temple. So, what has someone like you gleaned from them? I am most curious, especially since it's written that a hand that lingers on selfish desire serves no purpose higher than itself. Know this, the seed is sacred, meant not for waste, but for the cultivation of life and the service of greater purpose. Of course it serves a purpose, a vain and impure one. Such self-gratification weakens the spirit and body. It compels the heart to submit to every fleeting whim. Meanwhile, to be men means resisting those whims, holding back the hand from striking, restraining the hand from depravity. How can a man be ready to protect his loved ones if he's so willing to blind himself through sin? Just to remind you, a blind man cannot fulfill his service either to his kin or Kay, which makes him barren and forever lost. For sin dwells not in the motion, but in the intent. It is the heart that corrupts, not the body's natural course. I know that clarification by Sixtus. Some may call him rational, but for me he is nothing more than a pervert, trying to justify his depravity. I fear that sometimes this tone is necessary in priestly service. We know human nature all too well, do we not? Avoiding an admission of guilt does not mean avoiding punishment. Someone may treat my teachings with disdain, but ultimately, they will still stand before Kay and her word. Your words, however, are wise, and they lead towards reflection. And there it is, the image of modern humanity, knowing no virtues. Stripping purity from every aspect of life, you kill holiness, and then, in the face of life's hardships, you ask where grace has gone. Of course, that's not true. This is exactly why we serve, so that you, the common folk, do not have to find the path on your own. We are your shepherd, guiding you to greener pastures. You don't have to make your heart seek wisdom. Just listen to the teachings of the Red Church. This is not about control, my child, but about opening the eyes of those who cannot see. Would it not be better if each of us were ready to receive the prophet's word? A body that succumbs to temptation is a weak body. That is precisely why we must maintain purity, to be ready at any moment to receive the grace of the prophet. As Brother Flamen says, treat your body like a sacred place, not a disgusting brothel, as the pursuits of bodily pleasures is like blindness. Through understanding and grace. That is a fragment where Flamen was not mistaken. It is difficult to interpret it otherwise, and his argument is further strengthened by his reference to the texts of esteemed priests. Nevertheless, the matter here is different. It has been stated many times how such acts dull the human mind. Such pleasures are like gathering rotting apples, unproductive at best, and poisonous at worst. So, dear stranger, where did our little discourse lead you? what about my role in all of this? Where would people be without priests, striving to protect them from sin and impurity? Their own business? And what about dedicating the body to Kay? About the fact that each of us becomes a vessel in which her word can resonate? But a hand that labors for love and creation walks the righteous path. I suppose then that those who succumb to temptations can still do good. Enough, stranger. I see you've tried, but I won't debate matters of faith further. I remain unshaken. The books will burn. Now, let me return to my prayer.
What brings you this way?
Welcome back. Damned red priests. You'd think they'd have bigger problems than a bit of questionable literature. They don't have to like it. But nobody's forcing them to read it either. Well, thanks for looking into it. For whatever it's worth. One more thing. I can see you're alright. And I hope I can trust you. We need to talk. I need to ask you for something. It's serious. It might even be a matter of life and death. There's a stone tablet in Lord Devaine's manor. A Delrida relic. And I need you to get it for me. The tablet was made by the Theud tribe and given to House Tarion as a token of friendship between the Delrida and the people of Cunacht. It's cursed, I suppose. Look, I'm no Theud. I don't pretend to understand their magic. But I do know the tablet causes nightmares. The thicker the weirdness, the worse they get. And, well, we all know what happened to Lady Maeve. If that tablet killed her, it can't stay in the manor. Aye, if I'd known I would have said something, but I didn't. No until the Stone Wardens reached out to me a while ago, asking if I could petition Lord Devaine to return the tablet to the Delrida. I own a bookshop. I don't exactly have the social standing to march into Yvain's manor and demand a hand over an ancient artifact, do ya? Give me your map, and I'll mark their camp. Here's the reward I promised. And I'm sure Kvor will have a little extra something for you too. Maybe it should. But it's also history. If the Stone Wardens are right, this tablet is one of the oldest examples of Theud craftsmanship. A piece of Delrida magic that survived on Avalon for centuries. Still, if it comes down to it, if it's a choice between taking it or leaving it behind to do more harm, destroy it. I'll deal with the Stone Wardens afterwards. Ask any wolf, and they'll tell you the whole Theud tribe isn't honourable, just because they use magic. They'll also call the Volker a bunch of raving lunatics. But while I don't put much stock in prejudice, it does feel wrong. No everybody gets an open door invitation to the Lord's Manor just for showing up in König, you know. It's not like I haven't tried. I spoke to that snake, Anselm, but he practically threw me out the gate. He set a price so high, I'd have to sell my bookshop and still come up short. When I told him about the danger, he accused me of lying. Said I need to learn how to haggle. What a smug, spineless wee worm. Why? Knowing that you might have saved many lives is no enough for you? Of course there's a reward. The Stone Wardens left me some gold, and it'll be yours. You know, I was just going to ask you to talk to Anselm for me. But if breaking in is what you prefer, I'll only stop you. Just try not to get caught, alright? That would be embarrassing for both of us.
Watch your backs. I will be your downfall. Changed the moment you arrived. The air chain. What's on your mind? May Mather's strong arm embrace. The air changed the moment you arrived. Remembers everything.
Hello? Who's there? I can feel your presence, but it's always so dark in here. I can't see very well, even when Caleb brings light. Oh, he must be in the cave. I think he's been there for a while, but I'm not sure. It's hard to keep track of time here. The one with the plant. We're connected somehow. I can feel its roots digging into the damp soil, like they're my own. Sometimes I envy it. It feels big and strong, although I don't think it ever sees sunlight either. I'm Ely. I used to beg on the streets of Connacht. I hated it. The rain, the cold nights, the eyes that looked past me, the feet that kicked me. This is better in some ways, and worse in so many others. I really miss the sun. He offered me a job, said I could stay at his house. At first I didn't agree. I've had plenty of men offer me jobs, and I wanted no part of that. But he said all he needed was a housekeeper, since he belonged to some important guild and didn't have time to clean up for himself. So I said yes. He gave me a hot meal and a warm drink. Then everything went dark. I remember the floor glowing. When I woke up, I was this. He took some cuttings. It didn't hurt, but it felt strange. Like they were mine, but not mine. Then he waited for the branches to bear fruit. When they finally did, the fruit looked like it was born dead. He took it. After that, I hardly saw him anymore. The plant in the cave, we're linked. If you destroy it, I'll be free. I'd like to be free again. Not Caleb's, not the plant's, just mine. Even if only for a little while. Not exactly. I've never seen it. Only felt it through the plant. It's vast, but it doesn't seem far away. At least, it doesn't feel far. I'm sorry. I can't explain it any better. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Just be careful with the plant. It always feels angry. That anger, sometimes, I think it took from me.
I heard rumors. The Delrita chieftains spoke among themselves of the stone wardens they brought from the homelands. Yet when I asked, they had little to say. It seems their brotherhood has found a way to bend the weirdness to their will. That is good, I suppose. If you have the chance to learn from them, do so. We need every advantage to restore peace to Avalon.
that noise?
This place remembers it. What do you need from me? Typical. That man had no sense of self-preservation. He thought life was driving him. But to me, it always seemed like he was racing towards death. I'm glad the matter has been handled. I'll even give you something extra for your trouble. And what about his research? The Forebloom. That's incredible. I'd heard the legends, but this journal shows there's truth in them. And Calum, for all his madness, might have been right. If we could find the Forebloom, it could change everything. Bring us closer to our goal. Oh, my little baby owl. It's clear you're still learning the ways of a true alchemist. Everyone knows the legend of the Forebloom. It's the origin of all plant life in Avalon. The very seed of the weirdness that gave rise to all life as we know it. Without plants, there'd be no animals, no humans, not even the Fore-dwellers. And since life tends to guard itself, the Forebloom has its defenders too. The Strawfathers, the Gloom Fronds. All that protects life from the thoughtless destruction by humans. This proves that the seed of the Forebloom could be the pure spark of life we've been searching for. Ah, I see. So it was all for nothing. We need to keep searching. I won't lie, I was as excited for this as a keeper for venison. But after so many years in the guild, I should be used to the taste of failure. You're right. Tomorrow's another day. Each of us has our own research to pursue, and that's what counts. May Mother's strong arm embrace you. There's nothing more for us to do together. It's time for you to spread your wings and follow your own path. And if that path leads you to find Phaedros, then your career with the guild will keep progressing. Last I heard, he'd taken quite an interest in the statue of the great beast near Connacht. Strange fascination, even by our standards. And yes, my little owl, you're off to find another mad alchemist. But really, what else did you expect from the Alchemists' Guild? We're all a touch eccentric, aren't we? Don't worry about me. I'll focus on my own work. Something tells me our paths will cross again. May Mather's strong arm embrace you.
What? It's you. You're stealing from me. Why? I know that, except I thought. So it wasn't you? You're telling me someone else was here? Oh, I want to believe you, I really do, but it's just so strange. And you're saying you saw that person? If so, where are they now? Nobody could escape me so quickly, unless... So you're not only a thief, but a liar as well. You know, I expected better from you. Even if the theft was a mistake on your part, you still chose to lie to me right now. Why? We could have just talked about it. I don't know, although, I guess I could use your expertise in I don't think I want to talk to you anymore.
I'm terribly sorry for all that hassle. I should have taken more precautions. Yes, thank you. Just a bit shaken. The beasts must have somehow escaped during the night. When I woke up, they were already prowling the territory. I bolted the door and sat inside, hoping they'd leave. But, well, it's a good thing you showed up. Otherwise, I'd have had to choose between starvation and being mauled. Their pen, of course. The beasts were... my test subjects. I was sure they were significantly weakened and wouldn't pose much of a danger. I must have miscalculated. It's a bit of a shame they're all dead. I'll have to start everything from scratch. After the autopsies, of course. I lured them. They may be built differently and are quite tough, but most of them still need to eat, and they are susceptible to certain poisons. That's an interesting question. Perhaps they've been in captivity long enough to forget the concept of freedom. Or maybe they've claimed this place as their territory, and the only thing that changed was their living conditions. Or perhaps they were just dumb beasts waiting for the closest source of food to leave the house. I suppose we'll never know. The weirdness and life itself. I don't know if you've ever dissected a weird beast, but their bodies are quite fascinating. Nothing is in its rightful place, and, for all intents and purposes, they shouldn't even be alive. And yet, there they are, prowling and growling. It's a bit of a miracle, don't you think? I'm glad you agree. I know it's difficult to see my perspective when, time and time again, creatures like them try to kill you. I rather admire your open-mindedness. Nonsense. Where else would I conduct my experiments? I'd rather endanger just myself instead of, say, the entire population of Connacht. Oh, did he? Well, if the guild is so impatient for results, they should have sent someone sooner. Now all my beasts are gone, and I'm still missing a crucial ingredient. Yes, I suppose you are. I'm sorry for my outbursts. It's been a stressful couple of days. You see, weird beasts are unique creatures. The spark of life they carry is as twisted as it is relentless. I believe it can be extracted and transferred, creating a being capable of living in the weirdness without succumbing to its corruption. With everything that's been happening on Avalon, I believe this is the only way we can survive. The pigs can already do that. Well, yes, but they hardly escape disfigurement and corruption, do they? Besides, they only skirt the edges of the weirdness. They don't dwell deep within the fog. If I succeed, humans will be able to live in the weirdness freely, no matter how dense it becomes. The heart of a Fae, well, the Fae, to be precise. I'm not interested in the heart of some half-feral beast from the host. I need something far more powerful. I've heard of a Fae that calls itself Foxglove. It dwells in the roots of an ancient tree, lurking for unsuspecting travelers. Supposedly, it's cunning and quite vicious. If you bring me its heart, you won't just be doing me a favor. You'll be aiding all of Avalon. Me? Of course not. I'm just a scientist. I doubt I'd have survived such an encounter. I've only heard rumors. They might be exaggerated, of course, but I wasn't going to risk my life just to satisfy my curiosity. They are powerful beings that seem to only half belong to Avalon. They have their own realm, and don't appear to care much about the weirdness. They are a missing piece of the puzzle, I think. I may be wrong, but every theory must be tested, shouldn't it? Splendid, I assure you. If everything goes as planned, the Guild will hail us both as heroes.
My, what a lovely mortal he sent my way. Such a silly man, that Phaedros. Does he truly think I can't tell one of you from another? I can smell him on you. The sharp stench of fear and the desperation of a mortal who knows his time is running out. And that cloying trace of hope, as if he truly believes some poor soul could rescue him from the mess he's made. All his putrid human weaknesses cling to you like you're his last lifeline. It's truly pathetic. But of course, you could even say we're quite close. After all, I granted him his greatest wish. And in return, he promised me a small piece of his sad, mortal life. Only now it seems he's trying to weasel out of the deal. It's a bit insulting, don't you think? Mortals. I should have known better than to trust him. He swore to leave Avalon for 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days to serve me in my domain. Exactly! I can't understand why he's making such a fuss. Time here flies by so quickly. Unlike in the court, where a year can feel like a century. Oh, maybe he's not as foolish as I thought. Knowledge, of course. A lofty dream of saving Avalon by filling it with monstrous beings. On the one hand, it sounds delightful. On the other, it's a bit of a waste. You see, in my realm, mortals can live as long as we wish them to. A few adjustments here and there, and they can serve us indefinitely. Yet you mortals always believe that death is your escape. Even though we tell you time and again that a deal once made cannot be unmade. Phaedros thought it could work on Avalon too. He was only half right, which is why his results turned out rather beastly. Oh, my poor sweet thing. That's just how mortals are. They use, they lie, and they'll do anything to save their own skin. Now, don't fret. I don't blame you for falling for Phaedros' little ruse. In fact, how about we make a deal? How about I give you a little something, and you take it straight to his hidey hole? Then he can bear the consequences for trying to fool us both. What do you say? Oh, I see. Phaedros is being quite the foolish man, thinking he can hide from me. Well, truth be told, he is succeeding at the moment, but I am nothing if not patient. Still, when an opportunity presents itself, it would be foolish not to take it. Very well. Just try not to bleed too much, will you? Ugh, it's rather revolting.
So, you're the one Phaedros dragged into his madness. Apologies for the mess. I'm in the middle of cleaning up. I'm Alma, the alchemist. Pleased to meet you. I won't deny, I'd have preferred to meet under much more favorable circumstances. I feel a bit like I've been caught at the scene of a crime, which, in a sense, I have. Although, in my defense, if we're speaking of crimes, this one is twofold. Phaedros' reckless experiments had to be stopped. The guild warned him repeatedly that he was crossing the line. Unfortunately, yes. The rules of our guild are clear. Crossing the established boundaries results in consequences, and those consequences grow more severe with greater transgressions. It's not like he wasn't warned. He knew exactly what he was doing and the risks involved. Believe me, taking measures like this brings me no joy. But we can't keep constant control over everyone. There are certain acts that simply cannot be forgiven. Phaedros was a threat, not just to himself and the guild, but to others as well. I'm sorry it had to come to this. First, I need to finish cleaning up here and prepare Phaedros for a proper burial. I'll also secure the rest of his research and materials to ensure they don't fall into the wrong hands. And then I'll have to write a report. Ugh, I hate paperwork. There are so many better ways to spend my time, and then we'll talk about your next assignment. Now, that's better. Shame our meeting had to be under these circumstances. Believe me, not all alchemists act like Phaedros. You seem all right, though. Charles's calm demeanor confirms that. Tell me, what made you join the guild? A big deal. Very lofty. But be careful, all right? Knowledge and its pursuit can come with a price. At some point, one might take just one step too far and uncover secrets that were never meant to be revealed. But I think you'll manage. So, what do you need? I'm trying to conduct field research, but the last few weeks have been exceptionally frustrating. I lack the necessary specimens, and I'm not exactly equipped to gather them myself. I'm skilled with a lancet, not a sword. I heard you're trustworthy. But first, a warning. The task I have for you is unpleasant and messy. It involves extracting brain matter. But before you even get to that part, you'll need to risk your life to get close enough. I need brain centers from 3 creatures. A Nookalivi, a human infected with the Red Death, and a villager touched by the weirdness. I've heard stories about peasants on farmlands near Connacht. They were unlucky that the Menhir stopped protecting the place where they lived. I'll reward you for each of the 3 brains, as long as they're intact. A bloody pulp is better suited as a snack for Charles. Each one ties into my field of study and interests. The Nookalivi is the result of the Red Priest's experiments, likely involving the weirdness. As for the afflicted humans, I suspect significant brain alterations occur during contact with the weirdness, as well as in the final stages of the Red Death. The Red Priests have written studies, but I'd like to see for myself. That's my role. Let's just say I'm a sort of guardian of alchemical ethics. But more seriously, I was assigned to this task. Apparently, I'm the best at playing nanny to misfits like us. Charles is my Croakmore, though he's far from a typical specimen of his kind. He won't bite your hand off, unless, of course, he senses ill intent. At the moment, he trusts you, which is rather uncommon. I wouldn't call the process taming. It was something different. Let's say it involved a more invasive intervention. I found Charles just after he was born, abandoned by his mother, so I took him in. It was the perfect chance to examine his brain. While working on his exposed skull, I had to disrupt the areas responsible for his sense of belonging and aggression. If this were a question, I would say it's a valid one. To be honest, I don't know the exact answer. I assume it all depends on perspective. If we accept that the brains of living beings are a kind of biological mechanism, then perhaps I managed to redirect the function of that mechanism so that it operates based on different needs and perceives its place in the world differently. Yes, that seems likely. All I understand is that it's a form of ancient magic, supposedly discovered by Merlin, who used it to repel the weirdness. A menhir with burning weird fire can repel the weirdness on a far larger scale than a simple bonfire fueled by ethereal cobweb. Unfortunately, that's everything I know. As an alchemist, these are mysteries far beyond my knowledge or expertise. The hierarchical structure of the regular Camelosian guilds isn't something we strictly adhere to in the Alchemist Guild. Each of us has freedom in our research, as long as we don't violate ethical guidelines. Lately, situations like this have been happening far too often. Some alchemists within our ranks are starting to rebel. or they're coming up with utterly ridiculous ideas. I really hope this doesn't become a recurring pattern. To answer your question, unfortunately, yes, it was necessary. The rules of our guild set clear boundaries. Crossing them results in a response from us, one that becomes more severe the greater the transgression. It's hard to say. While we share a guild, not all of us keep in regular contact. Many members aren't as open about their affiliation as I am. They have their own lives and obligations, some of which might be highly conflicting. Until next time.
I will be your...
Oh, my beloved. I missed you so much. I missed you so much.
Nice to see you.
always a pleasure to see you.
There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. And there will never be gold. Ah, yeah, the true.
Listen, I've got something I need your help with. Something off the record. This bounty came down from command. A fat reward for the head of a bandit stirring up trouble in Connacht. But there's a catch. The bandit's name is Tom. He's an old friend. Someone I ran with when I was younger, before I joined the army. Hell, before I had any sense. They don't know about my past. If Denham gets wind of it, I'll be court-martialed. Or worse. And I can't turn Tom in. Not after everything we've been through. I need you to find Tom. Talk to him. Convince him to leave Connacht before the bounty hunters catch his scent. If he stays, it's a death sentence for both of us. I don't, but I can't go myself. Denham's men are watching my every move. If I disappear for even a day, they'll start asking questions. You're my only option. Listen, Tom and I, we've seen things together. Done things I'd rather forget. He was like a brother to me once. I owe him this much. Will you do it? Good. I knew I could count on you. Find him, talk some sense into him, and get him out of Connacht. I don't care how you do it. Just make sure it's done. Here, this should help you find him. And thank you. I mean that. Yes? Sir Renard. What a shame he ended up like this. Don't get me wrong. It's good that he's dead. He just wasted his life. He came from a noble family, was tall, strong, brave. He loved dueling so much that he started challenging everyone for any reason, or none at all. Eventually, he killed a royal messenger and was banished. He must have been a tough opponent. You deserve the reward. Ah, there you are. Just in time to witness the rebirth of Ascol the Invincible. Vrel's potion worked like a charm. I feel stronger, faster. Hell, I feel like a young recruit again. Don't you start. It's all in the mind, see? Strength, speed, endurance. It's all about believing you've still got it. Anyway, I'll keep taking it. Maybe I'll even best you in a duel next time, eh?
No, that'd be Sheena. I keep this camp running and make sure everyone's pulling their weight. Idle hands have no place in Camelot's army, especially not on a mission like this. Trouble is, we've got more work than men. So if you're looking to earn some coin, check the notice board. I've posted a few bounties. I can't spare any soldiers to deal with things outside of Connacht, but I'll be damned if I let those bandit scum run loose. I handle what makes soldiers fight. Sheena handles what keeps them comfortable. You want glory and gold? See me. You want a softer pillow or a warm meal? That's Sheena's domain. Legate Denham is in charge here. Sometimes I wonder if he upset someone higher up to get sent on this mission, because this place, it's a damn mess. Lord Yvain's acting like a maiden on her wedding night, the Red Priests are throwing their weight around, and the locals are ignoring the fact that they're all about to be swallowed by the weirdness. I have no idea how the Legate puts up with it all. But, well, at least he's got me to make sure his orders are carried out. I'm Immunis Askel. If you're here for war stories, forget it. I've no time to entertain idle curiosity. Most of the fighting's behind me now. I've traded my sword for paperwork. Not glamorous, but necessary. Once we're done here, maybe I'll finally retire. Then I'll have all the time in the world to spin tales for nosy brats like you. Any news about our mutual friend? Damn it! You'd better move. I should have.
I'll await your...
Have some spare food or coin? Anything else?
Oh, the brain of a truly unique creature. though I do pity its existence. The conflict between such opposing instincts must be such a torment. Nakalevi are hybrids created by the Red Priests, certainly a cross between redcaps and goats, though other animals were likely involved in the experiments. Regardless, thank you. I'm glad you came out unscathed. Here's your payment. Thank you. I trust you took the necessary precautions. The plague is known for its high contagion rate. I must admit, this is an important moment for me, for various reasons. I will soon begin the brain examination. Thank you again. Poor soul. I only hope his consciousness completely vanished, sparing him any awareness of this nightmare. Since the weirdness began to re-emerge, cases like this have sadly become more common. Thank you. I hope that through these studies I can better understand the connection between our biology and the weirdness. So, it seems we're almost done. But I must ask for your help with one last matter. Before we met, I made contact with Dalriata trappers who agreed to get me the brain of an ice weaver. Out of their group, only 2 survived. Let's just say they've been making some threats. I need you to go to the exchange for me. Can I count on you? We initially planned to meet in a location I could easily access, but after what happened to their folks, they've made some specific demands. Here's the location and the gold I promised them for the task. Don't try to negotiate. The amount has already been agreed upon. Once it's done, find me. I'll be nearby. However, I'd prefer not to attend the meeting. It might unnecessarily escalate the situation. Until next time.